man, always smoking on the best weed in the world and never backpedaling on his avid support for Donald Trump. Our first story of the day is coming from Jason Beck. Let's hear it, Jason.
Oh, yeah. Oh, boy. Good morning, everybody. Today, my story is kind of interesting, I thought. I found it, I saw this little story about these stores losing their licenses and whatnot. So I was like, oh, what's going on? And apparently in Connecticut, they've raided 3 more CBD shops that are accused of illegally selling THC-laden delta-8 products. Oh, yeah. 3 more CBD shops allegedly selling THC-laden delta-8 products illegally were recently raided, bringing the total number of smoke shops targeted to 8 statewide, the Attorney General's office announced on Tuesday. This is incredibly dangerous stuff, and it's totally unregulated. These are all bootleg products, illegal products, and we don't have any real information about how they're made, what's in them, whether they're safe for anyone's consumption, said Attorney General William Tong during a news conference on Tuesday. In a quote, "It's extraordinarily dangerous for these to be sold here in Connecticut, and that's why we took action against these 3 shops." The 3 Stanford CBD shops, which Tong identified as Zaza Smoke Shop 2, Breeze Smoke Shop, and World's Exotic Smoke Shop, will be charged in civil court for alleged violations of the Connecticut Unfair Trade Practices Act, Tong said. In a quote, he says, "If you live in Stanford, you know where these stores are. They're not hidden in some back alley somewhere in our city. They're in major shopping centers and on major thoroughfares," he said. "They got big, flashy signs." That brings the total number of CBD shops targeted by the state to 8, Tong announcing in February that 5 shops elsewhere in the state had been charged. Those cases are proceeding, he said. And in another quote, he says, "This is harmful to our youth, and we're going to do everything we can do to continue to partner with the Attorney General's office, with the Stanford PD, to crack down on the illegal sale of illicit drugs in our city," said Stanford Mayor Caroline Simmons. Says, "We know how harmful this is to our youth." And while CBD is legal to sell, state law stipulates that no products may be sold containing more than 0.3% THC outside state licensed cannabis retailers. Delta-8 and Delta-9 are derived from legal CBD using a solvent-based process to juice the THC content, Tong said. And cannabis products sold at legal adult use dispensaries may contain no more than 5 milligrams THC, 100 milligrams per bag, according to state law. Synthetically produced Delta-8 sold in CBD shops often contain 10 milligrams of THC or more, he says. In another quote, he says, "We see edibles that are many times the legal allowable amount of THC, sometimes as high as 600 milligrams in a bag," Tong said. "There have been instances of kids mistaking a bag of fake Fritos or fake Doritos or Stonios, or what they call warheads, and ingesting the whole bag. That's way too much for an adult. And then to think about a young child ingesting more than 6 times the legal amount of a whole bag of cannabis edibles," he says. Many rated products were on display during the news conference Tuesday at the Stanford Police Station, many with colorful packaging that Tong said could be attractive to children. In all, more than 6,000 products were seized in the 3 raids. For anyone that doesn't do math, that's 2,000 per shop. That number is probably still going up as we speak, as we inventory all the count all these products, Tong said. These products were also stashed in ceiling tiles in a fake electrical panel, and then, importantly, they also found flower marijuana. In addition to the Delta-8 products, Tong said investigators also uncovered other illicit drugs, wads of cash, and a hidden ledger. In a quote, he says, "There's no ambiguity about what they're doing," he said. "If they thought it was legal, they wouldn't hide it in ceiling tiles." When asked how widespread the illegal sale of Delta-8 products might be, Tong said, "Very widespread. In fact, when we walk into shops just randomly, we see it more often than we don't," he said. Man, oh man, oh man, what is up with this guy? He is not a happy patrolman. But I'm going to digress and see what y'all have to say. And this is Jason Beck reporting for the High at 9 News. What do you all think?